Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Hey, thank you. I'm Rob Asbjornson.
I'm Doug Lassiter. We're from Phoenix, Arizona.
And today we just wanted to share our story a little bit about how we got here. And we first would like to thank Response for bringing us here and sharing with you today our story and how we got off the ground and what we're doing in Phoenix, Arizona to make this thing come alive.
So it all started back in April last year. As I'm sure all of you have seen Facebook ads, sponsored ads on your feed. So yeah, I ran across one for Response. Little did I know it was Response, but I saw Barbara Corcoran. It sold me. So they hooked me to go to a real estate seminar that was free, and did that for a couple hours. So did that back in April of 2018, and from then they sold me on a package for $997.
A 3-day preview.
3-day preview, that's right. So,
of course, I was a little reluctant. I didn't go to the first meeting that Doug went to, but certainly Doug responded to this Facebook ad, and I remember him telling me I was painting at the time. I had my real estate license, but he had asked if I would actually go to this 3-day seminar, and I was like, well, what's it for? And he's like, well, it's about wholesaling, and since you're a real estate agent, Rob, I'd really like to have you take a look at this thing and tell me what you think, if this is something that we could do together. So I was reluctant, and I'm like, well, I really don't have a lot of interest doing this thing, but it sounds like a gimmick, or you're probably going to end up spending a lot of money to do this deal. So anyway, we did. I went to the 3-day preview, and it was great. Actually, it opened my eyes to a whole different level of wholesaling real estate. I knew about wholesaling, but I didn't know the components on how to structure everything together. So the 3-day was quite enlightening. The preview opened our eyes, like I said, and we were getting more and more excited. We saw everyone signing up for these $25,000 and $38,000 packages. I'm like, gosh, if these people are so committed to it, there must be something in the pudding here. So it wasn't until Sunday night we finally pulled the trigger, and we had to have that heart-to-heart talk. Like, hey, if we're going to do this, we got to do it together.
Got to stay committed. Got to be committed, man.
Got to stay committed.
Yeah. So that's what we did. We signed up for it, and here we are. But just want to let you know after that, what takes place after you sign up for, and dedicate, that much money to education. Well, have to create a website, which we did, create a logo for the business, and register an EIN with the government. So that's what we did to get the ball rolling. From there, then, as we all know, something called Boots on the Ground. That's where we met Zap and Chris. They were awesome team leaders, great mentors, and they taught us quite a bit within that, those 3 days. The second day, we ended up buying bandit signs. Yep, we
got a few of them. I think we only bought like 10 of them, but
yeah,
we got a few bandit signs.
We did, and we wrote them out and hung them up.
Now wait, before you go any further, I didn't want to hang those dumb bandit signs. I just did not want to do it. I'm like, I'll drive the car, Doug, you hang them. He's like, no, we're going to do this together. So we actually went out there and drove, and we hung up 10 bandit signs, and gosh, the next morning, Doug is like, bro, we got 2 new investors. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Just overnight. Yeah, just overnight. So 2 new investors, and no joke, within, I would say one of those investors was Elijah, wasn't it?
Yeah. So on day 3, we came back to Zap and Chris, and we were so excited. The rest of the team, the rest of the student body was so excited. They're like, oh my gosh, you guys actually hung bandit signs? Well, yeah, that was our assignment. We did our assignment. Day 3, we had 2 investors, and right away we spent the next week, after Boots on the Ground ended, we spent the next 7 days really, for me, cultivating and trying to find a property that Doug could contract on, that we could do our first wholesale deal.
One of those 2 investors.
And so what happened that night? So we not only locked in a deal, but we also had this investor have us meet at his property the day I showed it. meet at his property to assign the assignment of contract.
Within that first week after boots on the ground, we had a property under contract, and we had 2 investors that wanted a property, but we didn't have one. So we got one locked up under contract, and within a couple days later, like you said, I drove down to this investor's home and got our first assignment of contract signed and our first non-refundable deposit.
Yep. And then what was it, 9 or 10 days later, we actually consummated that deal and funded our first real estate transaction in wholesaling. So at that point, we celebrated and we're like, oh my gosh, this is like crazy right now. And I think we made, 8, and I think my commission was 4. So between the both of us, the assignment fee and my real estate commission, I think both those fees combined were really close to, I want to say $14,000.
It was.
So
it was a $250,000 sale.
Yeah.
3%. So, but yeah. So with a week after being at boots on the ground, we had our first wholesale deal in our pocket. So.
Yep. So I think right after that we had purchased some more Bandit signs. We found a guy that actually called off our Bandit signs, had him interview with us, and he became our Bandit sign hanger. And I think over the next 2 months we had 400 signs around the valley.
Yeah. So that's and then from then on, within the next month, we had 2 more assignment contracts signed and
moved our next 2 deals. So by the time we went to Deal Lab, which was leg 3, as you guys know, of the response education system, we went up to Utah, Rocky, in 3 deals, $805,000 I think it was, and $46,000 in commission.
Yeah.
It was just unreal, and we were so excited to be up there. All of the students, our colleagues that we were up there with, they were just like blown away by how much success we've had in such a short amount of time. And like Doug said, I mean, quite frankly, we just did the work. We did everything we were supposed to. We committed weekly. We looked at what worked, what didn't. We tracked our progress. We tracked our numbers. We tracked everything. And we went to work, and we've had some really amazing success. And at Deal Lab, we did a skit. Remember Deal or No Deal?
Yeah, that's
so
right.
We
Howard Mandel.
Yeah, we did Deal or No Deal. We brought our suitcases up, and it was a fun time. And really getting to meet Matt and Kent and Drew and the whole team at Response and really get hands-on what was going on. So from the time we left Deal Lab, we've had a couple ups and downs, but from there we funded some more deals. And
yeah, we've had some good ones. Some really good ones. Really good April too. So we've got 2 already and another one in queue right now to close by the end of the week. So pretty excited about it.
Yep. There you go. So anyway, we're going to begin our presentation now. I'm Rob again. This is Doug, and thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot.